Hello once again, Star Wars and Unboxing fans. Welcome to another episode of Darth Tuba Star Wars Unboxing Show. I'm your host, Darth Tuba. And before I get to this stuff here, I want you to just hear me out. At the time of this recording, I just want to send out my thoughts and my concerns and prayers to all the people of Los Angeles that are struggling right now with some very serious wildfires. We've been hearing reports of, so many things that are just absolutely heart-wrenching, people losing their homes and their businesses and everything else. And I just want to let people know out there that, you're in my thoughts, anybody who happens to watch from there. And if you know people that have lost stuff, I'm really speechless. I have nothing else. No words can describe the tragedy I'm feeling for those families. I do want to encourage people people that are nearby to help where they can. I've also seen great stories of people helping, banding together to help each other, and that's always something you see when tragedy strikes. But if you're nowhere near that part of the country, or if you're not even in that country and you want to help, look online for places that have that are in the trenches, so to speak, that are in need of help for donations for food, for water, for shelter, for clothing, okay, or even things like toy donations and things of that nature. So but do some research, okay. There are some that are more reputable than others. I don't want to support any individual one. I've made my own donations to a few places, but I encourage you to research and do some make a $5, $10 donation. Any little bit helps. And I also want to just again be sure that everyone is checking your sources when you see things come across your news feeds. Although there are some very tragic, horrible things happening, sometimes we're getting fake images, sometimes we're getting misinformation, and I just don't want anyone to be taken in by what is essentially just a horrible exploitation of a tragedy and having misinformation. So make sure you're checking your sources and things of that nature. Okay. So again, by the time you watch this video, hopefully everything would have started to calm down, because I'm always a few weeks ahead with my video drops. So I hope everything is working out. But again, if you need to help, it does help. It feels good to help. Okay. So I encourage you, make donations, do what you can do. Thank you. Why am I sitting here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Bo Katans, a Mandalorian, and a incinerator trooper? Well, if you've been watching my channel, you know that I kind of went a little crazy at my newly discovered Ollie's, and I said, this, which is a discount store, and they generally will purchase the stock at a huge deep discount from other retailers, I guess, or from Hasbro or somewhere, and they will put them on sale for far, far less than what they were. All of these figures were actually $3.99. However, half of them, or actually all of them, there was 33% off all toys, so that made them basically $2.99. And then I got 15% off that with my second purchase, which was about half of them, so that made it more like about $2.49. So in the end, it was quite a successful haul of huge. These are the retro style figures, okay. But why on earth would I need 11 Bo Katans? Well, I am going to try my hand at some customization. I got my paints right here. I got some acrylics, and I'm going to try to do a little bit of touch up on the armor. I'm thinking, looking at the figures, I'm thinking like these are mainly one of the reasons I wanted to try my hand at this with the I will say this, the retro figures are better. If you've never done this before, I'm thinking the retro figures are a much better way to start with this, and here's why. First off, 5 POA. You don't have to, they're very easy to manipulate, so you can get around and get through all the nooks and crannies, I think, a little bit easier. But the other reason is that I feel like if you think, retro style figures are not just 5 POA. They're also simpler sculpts, more basic sculpts, and more basic paint apps. So they're really just, in fact, looking here at Bo Katan, it looks like she's got the colors gray. The primary, the chest plate, the legs, the torso basically is gray. And then a little bit on her shoes and knees. She's got shins and knee guards and wrist guards and shoulder gauntlets and a few other little decoration pieces on the helmet and shoulders that are blue. And then she has brown for the holsters, right? Belt and holster. A little bit of white in the top with just a little bit of the design of her, her bird design. That's pretty simple, okay? So I think what I'm going to do is, because I am not a customizer by any means of any stretch of the imagination, I'm going to start basically looking into just trying to make them all be like rando mandos. That's what I'm looking for. I recall the scene in I'm gonna put up one of the scenes from, like, I guess the beginning of the 3rd season of Mandalorian, when they're on that off the side of that lake and they were doing that initiation with the young Mando, and I wanted to just take a quick peek at some of those different helmets, but they all look like they're pretty solid, different solid colors, and I have some basic colors here. And again, I the only thing I've done is my custom droid one. Look back on a few videos ago, but I'm going to give this a shot. I'm going to see how that looks, and again, I'm putting it out there for you to judge. I don't care. I'm just having fun with this, and basically I paid for all of these figures what would have cost to pay for two of these, or 2 vintage collection figures. So I've got a lot of space here to work with. So we're going to have some fun with this, and we'll see how we go. All right, so I'm taking a look at the Mandalorian Season 3 opening episode. And as you can see, there's a couple. It's really hard to get a paused image, but it's about the best one I could find with a lot of different ones. Now, obviously, as you can see, they're all, very earth color, right? So I don't know if I'm going to try to emulate any of those. I think I'm just really going to take what I'm seeing from, the way the paint apps have been set up on the Bo Katan figures, and just try to change up some of the colors, And by the way, I didn't have 11. I have 10. Sorry, 10 Bo Katans and a Mandalorian. And I also have an Incinerator Trooper, like I said, but I decided that I have already one in a box, and I just kind of think he's not a retro figure. He's cool. He's like the regular, just the Vintage Collection Deluxe figure. So I'm going to leave that guy alone and leave Baby Grogu alone, just because I have a couple of places that I keep loose figures, and I'll put them up on display somewhere. All right, but these guys, I'm going to see what I can do. Okay, so this is my first attempt at something of that nature. I utilized just some acrylics, and we just tried to mix up the colors a little bit. This one I went for the New York Mets look. I'm probably going to go back over them with oh, I just realized I forgot one. I've been trying to, whitewash over the signet there. That's on the helmet, because that's Bo-Katan specific, but that's all right. I'm gonna maybe try to get a paint marker with a really fine tip. I know my daughter has a few items, just to try to, once these have dried fully, to try to color in the visors just a little bit better. They were a little bit hard, and most of them are indented. Here's our Mandalorian, but now a different color. So now you got some. This is very reminiscent to me of the scenes with all the Mandos, just to kind of build the army a little bit. So just a little fun. Again, as of the time of the recording of this, early January 2025, Ollie's all over the place. Still seem to be really heavy into the retro thing. Retro figures for like $3.99 with other discounts applied. You can get them for maybe as little as $2.50. That's pretty cheap for Star Wars figures. I mean, gosh, the original ones back in the 70s and 80s were like $1.99, $2. So to find that price at Ollie's is great. They had other characters as well, but I felt that these were the Mandalorian style. I only found one Mando. I did find a Book of Boba Fett one, a Boba Fett figure, but I realized I wanted to have a few that were still carded because I unboxed or opened up all of those. I wanted to have a few of them still in the package. So these will find a nice place on my thing. I have all their weapons right here. This will find a nice place on my shelf, kind of part of my personal custom figures. My first step into that, really. So hope you guys enjoyed that. Again, check out Ollie's. Ross is another place that sometimes has discounted figures. Ross Dress for Less, but Ollie's is the one that's really discounted. That you can, do this because this entire thing cost me roughly about $30. So it's a pretty inexpensive way to dip your toe into customization. All right, well, thank you so much for watching, guys. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification button, check out all my other content on my site, on my channel, all my playlists. Thank you, Red 5, for supporting the channel. Be sure to check out all the other content on Red 5, and you can also find me on Instagram and Bluesky, and I have my own. Look for my Darth Tuba unboxing group on Facebook. Okay, folks, thanks so much for watching. Until then, until next time, may the Force and the toys be with you.